Previously on the 308 project, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, otherwise known as the US, I purchased this non-running Ferrari. When it finally arrived in the UK, well, it was not a pretty sight. Upon inspection, it was clear that someone had been around this 308 desperately trying to fix a problem. Scarily, every single connector, cable and wire had been left unplugged, which is not the kind of thing you want to see to start off with. I immediately got to work fixing one thing after another, but each time I fixed a problem, another one would raise its ugly head. Eventually I got the car running, but it ran like a dog, coughing, spluttering, misfiring and spewing out clouds of smoke so strong it burnt your eyes. Day after day I worked on the car, calling in the help of friends and experts. We changed part after part, fixing one fault and then discovering another. The only bonus was that in the process, all the common issues that plagued the 308 were systematically fixed or updated. But eventually, after so long, I was completely out of ideas and I did something I have never ever done before on any project. I threw in the towel. After chasing my tail for so long, I decided enough was enough. I really needed to call in some expert help. Somebody who knew 308s inside out. I'd been recommended Barkaways by several people, an award-winning specialist who service, restore, sell and even store everything Ferrari. I got in touch with Ian and amazingly he kindly agreed to take on the 308 challenge. With the help of my good buddy Dan, we managed to get the car down to Ian, who himself owns probably the best 308 in the world. A little more on that later, but first of all, let's get Ian's thought on the 308 upon arrival.
So, we'll have a look under the bonnet. Blimey, look at the state of this. I wonder if anything's going to be fixable. Apparently it's had everything that anyone else can ever think of. Plug leads, plugs, you name it, it's had it done, and it still doesn't run very well. So they've asked, and I thought, well, we've never been beaten by a car. We'll see if we can help out. Turn the key and see what it sounds like. So know what we're getting ourselves into. Blimey. Bloody hell. That's a straight turn it off job, that is. Blimey. Well, I suppose the one thing is it started. God, that sounded terrible. It's misfiring, it's got an awful rumbling noise. I mean, the oil gauge did go up, so it's got some sort of oil pressure, but yeah. Misfiring badly. I'm surprised it even started looking at the state of it. Oh well, we'll have a little look, see if we can help.
Now this seems to be a common reaction to my car, so I'm hoping Ian is still up for the challenge on the 308.
What a box! God almighty!
Now the one good thing about finally throwing in the towel from fighting with that Ferrari and letting someone else deal with the stress is I now get to kick back and do something that is far more enjoyable, where I will never throw in the towel. And unlike the cost of playing with expensive cars, this game is free to play. Plus, I get to battle with millions of others who also love it. And whilst I love to customise my cars, in this game, I get to customise my characters. And here's just a couple of my favourites. First of all, we've got Gorgid the Breaker from the Knights Revenant. One of the hardest hitting champions available in the game. If you need someone to take out any enemy standing in your way, Gorgid the Breaker is the champion for the job. But then, in the Sacred Order, we've got Sir Nicholas. He's a powerful HP-based champion and he's also a Void Legendary champion, so he's already top tier. And what I love about him is his skill multipliers let him hit extremely hard. So when the winter outside is frightful, you need something delightful. Well, guess what? Raid Shadow Legends has you covered. They're celebrating this festive season big time. Get involved in Raid's Christmas Story, a special holiday themed event where you can follow Sir Nicholas through a festive story. It comes with mini games to solve and the chance to win both in-game and real-life prizes ranging from epic and legendary characters to Amazon gift cards. All you need to do to join the event is head to raidxmas.com. And then there's the per city with 100 stages to complete, including stages where you'll need to take down 2 raid bosses at the same time, but complete the various quests and get your hands on a mythical champion. So if you haven't started playing Raid Shadow Legends yet, where have you been? Don't miss out on the fun. Click on my link in the description below the video or simply scan my QR code and you're going to get some insane bonuses only available when you use my link. You're going to get 2 epic champions with that link, not 1 but 2 at once. First there's Lightswarm, a very strong epic champion from the Sacred Order. His kit allows you to keep a team alive with the increased defense buff and a revive on death skill. And second, there is the epic Juliana. After reaching level 15, an epic champion and a boss killer. She is an attack type warrior wielding the magic affinity and is super powerful against her enemies. And once you're in crushing your enemies, come find me under the name Ratarossa. Join the Ratarossa clan and we can be legends together. So click on my link in the description below the video and I'll see you guys on the battlefield. The 308 has been down at Barkaways for a couple of weeks now and I've just got off the phone from Ian. He's actually fixed the car that troubled me for so long, the one that has beaten me, and apparently the fix was relatively simple, which is probably going to make me look a little bit silly. Anyway, let's head in the car and find out exactly what the cause was. You want to drive? I'll drive. You drive. Okay.
So you want to
Straight away,
right,
it sounds better, doesn't it? It actually starts, yeah? So one of the problems I had with this car is that like it was hit and miss whether it would even start.
Oh, whether it would even go in the first place?
Yeah.
Because allowing for some Italian electrics.
Yeah. That's great.
In there goes.
Yeah.
We've got alternator lights that go out and it idles.
Wow.
I know one of your things was it doesn't idle.
No, like, you know, you have to feather the throttle just to adjust to keep it going.
And so we haven't driven this up the road because we know the brakes are a bit.
Yeah. And we're literally going to take this around the train.
Around the yard.
But yeah, this is great. This is the best it sounded. I mean, it's quite funny because when we dropped off the car, or Dan dropped off the car, and you rang me. You said that sounds so rough. I was actually, and that's the best it's ever sounded since I've had it. Yeah. Yeah, it goes. It drives. It's moving. It actually drives.
Well, wow. It's not perfect, but
no. I think part of it though is because it hasn't been driven for so many years.
Yeah.
It just needs to go out and put some miles on it.
That's forward motion, isn't it?
Yeah. Very good. I mean, when I did drive it for a couple of miles, we had a major flat spot in it. It was coughing and spluttering and backfiring. So
yeah, I wouldn't say it's going to be perfect up the road yet, but
yeah. So you think really with this, we need to go through the injection system, warm up regulator,
the fuel pressures aren't quite right.
Yeah.
But then there's electrics and all sorts to do. But yeah, at least we've got. Yeah. We have forward motion now.
We do. Yeah, and it was that mid-range really where it was really suffering, but
it's not.
I can notice straight away.
I mean, when it first came in, I wouldn't have even bothered trying to drive it. It was awful.
Yeah, well, I did. Yeah, I can definitely vouch for that. It was really awful.
We're going to workshops like.
Now you're going to embarrass my 308 with your 308.
Yeah, that is a bit of a. But now you can feel when it rolls, it stops.
Yeah. Yeah, and
we've got some oil pressure.
Wow. Smooth. Compared to how that was, we are chalk and cheese here.
Yeah, we're not quite there yet, but compared to where we were, it is chalk and cheese.
That is amazing. Yeah, I mean, there's loads of things on here, like all the rubbers need to be changed, so every little bit could be causing little bits. Yeah, but that, very good. One other thing I've just noticed as well is it wasn't really badly smoking because the car Was it bad when it got here? Because I know
there was blue smoke coming out.
Yeah, but you said the mixture was actually not too bad on it.
The mixture's not too bad. We've got it more or less right. The hydrocarbons are MOT-able now.
Wow.
And I was expecting it to be far worse.
Yeah.
So, and there is a bit of blue smoke when you rev it up. So, but again, if the car hasn't been driven for years and years and years, the rings are probably clogged up and everything.
It must be about 10 years. I'll check the history on it because it did come from the US. I got a feeling it was something like 2015. This car was last really like on the Carfax report.
And on the, generally, this is a brilliant engine. These don't usually break.
What, 308s in general or the injection models?
All Ferraris. I mean, the engines are pretty bomb-proof. They do.
Okay.
I wouldn't expect. I mean, the rings might be a bit clogged up and what have you. They might smoke a little bit, but Ferrari engines don't usually break. Okay. The electrics and all the peripherals are a nightmare.
Yeah, I can totally vouch for that.
Ferrari engines are spectacular.
Yeah.
And they do last.
Really, with this, the major problem, do you want to explain this?
Right, so when it came in, as you've just heard, we did a little video, this thing was misfiring, it sounded like a tractor, it was awful. And the main problem was the plug leads on the back. These run as two 4-cylinder engines, basically. So, one, you've got a firing order going 1, 3, 4, 2 down here, and the covers are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4. When you go to the back bank or the front bank this way, the cover is the same colour. It's still numbered 1, 2, 3. So
it says 1342 on the back here,
and it says 1342 on that.
Okay.
But that's not one. This is one.
Okay.
The numbers on the Ferrari go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So when you look at the firing order, the way it's worked out, so the bank at the back of the car is 1, 3, 4, 2. But the front of the car is 5, 7, 8, 6.
This bank was all right.
This bank was all right.
This bank was wired wrong.
It was miles out. So what we did, we took the distributor cap off, rewired it all, put them all in the right holes, and that got it sort of not misfiring. We've changed the plugs. It was a bit too, it was upper grade on plugs and they were just soaked. So we took those out and we've come down to sevens instead of 8s. The injection unit, it's missing. There's a little blanking screw down the bottom there that creates an air leak, which isn't helping. But at least to manage to. So
you've got the adjusting screw, but there should be something on top just to blank it in.
I'll show you the readings we got out of it.
Okay.
So it's now what's coming out the back is nearly acceptable.
Great. So injection system. Then we've got the warm-up regulator here.
This is wrong. The warm-up pressures are miles out. What's happening when you start it from cold, it's not getting enough choke. It's too weak. Okay. So the pressures are wrong. When it gets hot, it just about...
Now, is there an adjustment on here, Ian? This screw here? I didn't think there was an adjustment.
This is a bar metal. Basically, this is a bar metal. There's a plug on here and there's a bar metal strip inside. Yeah. And it heats up and goes up and down. And it controls the fuel pressure through to the regulator. And there's a little plunger there that you can adjust. That one's been hit too far down. They're normally about flush with the top. Right. So someone's hit that down. Which has put the fuel pressure out.
Cold start system.
This is a misconception. All that does, it's on a time switch. That will squirt once when it's really cold. Okay. It doesn't squirt all the time. It'll do one squirt.
Just when they, like a choke system, to
give a little bit of enrichment. So people think, oh, that runs all the time. It doesn't. Okay. It just does one squirt to get you started. And then this gives you the enrichment, and underneath here there's a idle control valve which will give you more air. So that gives you the fast idle, that gives you the start, that gives you the choke. Once it's all, but what that requires is some electrics to make all that work.
Let's take a look at mine, and I'm going to explain a little bit further what Ian was showing you there. So we've got the cam here. So this is as you would see the engine from the back of the car. This is the view you would see. 1, 2, 3, 4 stamped on the cam cover. 1, 3, 4, 2 firing order. This is our distributor here, or would sit here, or the cap. And then the other bank, same again. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4, 2. So what had basically happened was the car, as it came from the US, this bank was wired incorrectly, and so when I did actually change the cap I just copied exactly what was done there because it's come from Ferrari. So my mistake totally, I should have checked it. Now, just to demonstrate here, so we've got our rotor arm here. So this is slightly different. This is a 308, but essentially it works in the same way. So as it rotates, 1, 3, 4, 2 will be the firing order. Now I would also demonstrate, here's our plug leads, but when this thing got mangled up, so did the distributor cap, so I can't even show you. But if I show you a picture of a distributor cap, you'll get the idea. So where the cables come in, they don't go 1, 2, 3, 4 like some distributor caps. They all come into the middle. So that is where the problem has occurred. They've been wired wrong as they've been pushed in to the middle of the cap.
Well,
that's my excuse.
I'm going to say this sounds like a lot of excuses. But in your defence, they are numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on there they're numbered. You don't get 5, 6, 7, 8.
No.
You get 1, 2, 3, 4 again.
Same cover, is it? Yeah.
So the fact that it's an easy mistake to do.
Yeah.
That 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll forgive you that one.
Well, you know, I don't mind because you learn. You know, you learn from mistakes, and that's it. And that was a big mistake, but we get there eventually. Okay, so while we're here, there is something that, well, it embarrasses my 308. It's Ian's car that he has done an amazing restoration on. Well, there's mine, and it's quite nice to have the two next to each other because you can see, well, could this ever be as good as this? I don't think so. Not unless you spent a lot of money, right?
Yeah, so, I mean, most 308 owners would cry when they see this because this has had like 4 years of my time.
Yeah.
You know, 3,000 or 4,000 hours put into this car. It's had the mother of all.
This is your personal car?
This is my personal car. I've had this for about 20 years.
Wow.
And it was just on the turn. 308s, the bottoms of the doors had gone, the little bits. It was just,
yeah.
We were well known worldwide for our concourse cars, and my own car was looking a bit edgy. So we said, right, if we're going to do it, we got to
not good marketing, right?
Knock it out of the park. So it was a bit of an all or nothing. So we went all in.
So what have we got here? This is a carburettor car.
Yeah, carburettor.
GTS, obviously.
Carburettor GTS. They made about 180 something, 84, I think, in right-hand drive, and they went to injection in the early 80s. So this is one of the last of the
carb cars.
Yeah, so.
Okay, and this full nut and bolt. When we say nut and bolt, I'm going to show you in the engine in a minute. This is insanely good.
So we did the research into it. We found it was a matching number car. We did all the history, so I've got all the original invoices from day one. It was originally a demonstrator at up one of the northern garages, Huddersfield Garage, and they put over 1,000 miles on it in the first month.
Brilliant.
So
brilliant.
Clearly someone was enjoying this
I like Ferraris that have been enjoyed. Yeah.
From day one, when you look at the market, crikey, this was really used. Someone drove this and thought, this is a nice car, I'm going to drive it some more.
So you did a full restoration on this. We've got the documentation over here, which is amazing to see. Car on the spit here, so the underside of it. So the car was originally a Rosso Corsa?
It was originally red and crema, and we've got the original bill of sale from Ferrari here. That in 1979.
How much was one of these in 1979? 11,000?
Yeah.
£11,200.
Was a delivery note from Spa.
1979,
by lorry in 79.
Wow.
In red and crema. So I just thought this car's never going to get sold. It's going to stay as part of the family forever. These would look really good in a blue. So
were they ever offered in this? This is a Le Mans blue,
Le Mans blue, so it's an original Ferrari colour.
Oh, it is,
so
okay. But with the 308s available in this colour? Wow.
So it's a bit like the 328s.
Yeah.
99% of 328s are red and crema.
Yeah.
The smaller cars work in red and crema.
Yeah.
And they were all red. I think fashions have changed and people start to like the blue now. We've done some Dinos in blue, look good, and I just thought this would look stunning. And it was a bit of a punt because everything is about going original and keeping everything original. I thought, right, Le Mans blue, Sabia and the tan inside, and everyone who's seen it's just gone, wow.
I mean, look at this, guys. I actually like the grey on the 308 because it is different, the two-tone as well. But this, when I saw this, it is absolutely stunning. And the contrasting interior, look at that. This really, as a cost exercise, really would not be worth doing it at, you know.
This was my evenings, weekends, everything for years. You couldn't do this commercially. This has had the same as when we've done Lusos and 4 cams and short wheelbase. This has had the same as the big cars.
Look at this, guys.
Cover up all of this is just a boot with the car covers on it.
It's just simple things like this that, you know, these always go wrong.
But the difference on this was I kept all the original clips. Me being, the reason why we win these awards is you've got to be super anal.
Yeah.
And people put normal clips on this, and I've covered this in the video, that we kept all the original clips. And then we replated them, so it's got all the original bits.
So when cars like this are being judged, that's something.
Half a point here.
Really, every single one of these that, you know, you got the wrong one.
Clip on it,
yeah,
it'll hold the hose on, but it'll look wrong.
Yeah.
So the attention to detail.
I saw that, and even like the zip ties over here, you know, they have to be the correct.
They're the original sideways ones, not the 90-degree ones, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes to win concourse. It's down to the
But it's actually knowing like, you know, these cars, they weren't expensive for a long time and they were maintained on the cheap, so things were changed. Normal zip ties were put on there, normal Jubilee clips. So it's actually having the knowledge to find out what it really should be from factory. That's the difficult part of it.
And putting it all back to original.
And finding bits like that, you know, there are a lot of companies that you know now provide these original stuff, but
I mean, we were lucky with this car. It was a good car to start with, so that did help.
Things like this, just the cover, just getting the right finish on that.
Some people polish them, some people paint them. These have done vapor blast, which is glass bead and water, which gives you that nice sort of satin original finish.
Okay,
but
and then that's it. You vapor blast it and you just leave it, or do you coat it over the top and protect it?
What we do now is, when we're not using the car, we just bury it in like WD-40.
Right.
Just if it goes, like now it's winter, it's going to go into storage, so we'll just empty a can of WD-40 over that, and then in the summer when it comes out, wipe it off, blow it off.
Good tip.
And it's an easy fix, and it will protect all the alloy casings.
So you've got things on here like the 16-inch wheels,
so these came out with the XWXs, so basically you had the smaller wheel with the bigger tyre.
Which is kind of like, mine's got the TRX tyres on it.
Yours is on the metric, so you're sort of halfway.
Mine are extremely expensive.
So Ferrari did what was called a sprint pack. When they came to the UK, you could upgrade them, so you could have basically the bigger size wheel with the smaller size tyre. One of the big things on these, they had original single outlet exhaust, which does make them a bit asthmatic, trying to get 3 litres of air out of one little exhaust pipe. So the obvious upgrade was to do a 2-branch or 4-branch outlets, just to get the fundamentals of an engine. You've got to get the air in, out and gone,
as quickly as possible,
so it does make them breathe a lot better. So that's why.
So we got the quad exhaust on there.
So, which is where they went on the quattro valves and the injections later on. And again, I thought, well, I've got all the brochure for this, here's all the parts, so we put an original answer on there, which is the sloping back one and everything. We went up to the 16-inch wheels. Other than that, this car's completely original.
And I saw it's got a deep dish front spoiler. Did it originally have that on this one?
Originally had a deep front spoiler, so again, you had the choice of a shallow spoiler or a deep front spoiler on the 308 range. Some people love them, some people...
I love them. I much prefer them with a deep...
They are a bit of a... I mean, I've already just caught this one once coming out of Blenheim Palace once, but they are quite low. And some people prefer without them.
But that is just beautiful.
On this was a real lucky find.
Was it? Everything on this car is perfect.
That's what it takes to win awards.
I can, knowing what I've done on the BBI, I look at this and I think that is a lot of work, many hours and a lot of money. But yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So the 308 is finally fixed. It's on its way back to the Rat Cave. Now, I have to say a massive thanks to Ian and the Barkaways team for fixing my most problematic Ferrari. In fact, my most problematic car. The nightmares I had on that one, and Ian fixed it like that. That's why he's the expert. Guys, check out Barkaways for anything Ferrari related, whether it's servicing award-winning restoration or storage. They've also got a very, very cool YouTube channel, so give them a follow. You can see things like Ian's lovely blue Ferrari 308, the full nut and bolt restoration series on that, or cool videos like the one I watched the other night on an F40. Anyway, I'm going to put all the details in the description below the video. Also, make sure you check out today's video sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. The link is in the description, or you can scan the QR code up there. You can get some insane bonuses, and new players will get an epic champion. Now I'm going to be wrapping up the year with a special video on the whole of the Ratarossa collection. Which ones are staying, which ones are going. There's currently 8 Ferraris, 1 Porsche, and something very, very special on the way, which is going to cost me a fortune to rebuild, which means that part of my collection is going to have to go. Find out which ones are staying, which ones are going, and when that is all going to happen, all in the next video. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget you can check out what I get up to on a daily basis on my socials. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now.